They did what they could to save a young life. At a crime scene Wednesday night where 3 people were shot, 2 Youngstown policemen decided the baby in the back seat needed hospitalized now.
Tonight, in their own words, the 2 policemen describe what happened, how they heard the gunshots, found the baby, and did what they could to keep him alive.
On Wednesday night at around 7 o'clock, Youngstown policemen Casey Kelly and Greg Tackett were parked at the Byzantine Center on Shady Run Road.
Officer Tackett looks at me, he's like, "Did you hear that?" And I'm like, "I didn't hear anything." He goes, "That was a gunfire."
Right after that, we heard another volley of gunfire, which sounded like I said, 2 different calibers shooting back and forth at each other.
He was like, "Start heading north," so throw it into gear. We started driving down Shady Run.
The shots, as it turned out, came from a mile and a half away at the corner of Gibson Street and Pasadena Avenue. Officers Kelly and Tackett were the 2nd and 3rd policemen on the scene.
When we get to a scene like that, our first thing is we want to make sure it's secure, make sure there's nobody else around that can ambush us.
We saw the two adult victims sitting in the front seat of the car, both with apparent gunshot wounds.
They say 21-year-old Edward Morris appeared to be dead, and 19-year-old Valarcia Blair was barely breathing. As Officer Kelly shined his flashlight into the car, he noticed what he thought was a pile of clothes that was actually a blanket and a car seat with a baby.
Your first thought in your head is like, please don't be hit, please don't, because it looked like everything was kind of over top of it. But as I shined down by its crotch area, you could see a little bit of blood.
As he said, we broke the door open, and it was just kind of I believe that the ambulance company told us it was going to be a few minutes till they got there, and just looking at the baby's injuries, knew that a few minutes was just not going to be, it wasn't going to cut it.
Me and him both decided, and we were like, we got to get this baby to the hospital.
Just get the baby to the hospital as quick as we can.
They put the car seat with the baby in the back seat with Officer Tackett, and Officer Kelly drove and headed to St. Elizabeth in Youngstown.
When we told him we were coming fast. I mean, I was probably doing probably like 120 down South Avenue, lights and sirens, just getting there, and he's in the back seat yelling, like, try to go faster, and I'm jamming my foot. I mean, short of putting my foot through the bottom of the floorboard, trying to get the gas pedal all the way down. I mean, that's how quick we were getting there.
Once the baby arrived at the hospital, the 2 officers returned to their vehicle.
I went and sat in the cruiser for a second, and I'm not gonna lie, I cried a little bit.
At one point that night, they returned to the murder scene, and that's when they learned the baby had died.
Upsetting, I think, is the only thing I could really say. It's not. I think, to be honest with you, a lot of us there are still trying to process it.
Having an infant, I mean, 3-month-old, I mean, dying in front of you, I mean, that's not something that you can prepare yourself for mentally.
From the hospital, they went back to work because they knew many of the officers were still at the murder scene.
We were on the west side, we were back on the south side, we were all over the place, just kind of cleaning up what needed to be cleaned up call-wise.
Both have been offered counseling, but neither one has used it. Instead, they've relied on the veterans at the Youngstown Police Department for their counseling.
When you're telling them what happened and they can relate to you back and say, well, I've had that happen before, or this is the situation I've been in. They've
been very helpful, and just the entire chain of command has been very helpful. Everyone's been reaching out to us, making sure that we have the resources available to us, but also just offering really kind words and just being there.
The baby who died, his name was Tariq Morris. Officer Casey Kelly has been with the Youngstown Police Department for 2 years. Officer Greg Tackett for 3. You're considered a rookie until you've made it to 5. After our interview today, they returned to their cruiser and again went back to work.